Today, in the nerdy news you need to know about, Nintendo Switch prices are going up after this weekend. Starfield is reportedly set for PlayStation 5 in spring 2026. And EA has finally revealed Battlefield 6 details. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Friday, August 1st, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. New York Game Awards nominated, a.k.a. Perry Poppy Blessing Adeoye Jr.
You went with Perry Poppy today.
I did.
Is there a reason for that?
We just did the whole thing where we were talking about games recently on one of the shows, and it came up again that you could be Perry Poppy, but you don't have to be Perry Poppy.
Yeah.
And so that's where I was just in my head.
It is appropriate, though, because I just started playing Liza P. Overture a couple nights ago.
I saw you streaming this, of course, Blessing Jr.
This is the one that Andy Cortez has been really encouraging me to get to. Me and him both loved Liza P., right? Like,
yeah.
We titled it as like one of those games where if we're like, yo, if you put From Software on the logo of the box, people would just accept it as being a masterpiece, right? It's that good in our eyes. And Andy got to it first because it surprise launched during Summer Game Fest back in June. And like that was the same week as Switch 2, was the same week as like Death Stranding 2 review code.
There's a few things going on, yeah.
And so I was like, there's no way I'm going to get to this. But Andy keeps speaking the gospel to me of like, yo, you got to play it. You got to play it. And so finally got around to it. I've gotten past the first mini boss and the first boss, which is funny because the mini boss was way tougher than the actual boss.
Okay.
But I'm enjoying it so far.
I'm
having such a blast. And so between that and then also Evo this weekend, I am feeling I'm in the Perry Poppy mood. Woo! I'm in the Perry Poppy energy right now. Yeah.
For you, Evo, you're a big fighting game fan, obviously. You're a big fighting game competitor. Evo, what does that look like for you this weekend? Are you like not going out, not doing anything? You're just dialed in, you're watching this?
I'll have it on in the background. It's like the tough thing of last year, I was so energized off of Evo to the point where I was like, I'm going to go to Evo every single year.
Yeah.
And then this year, like barreling towards the summer, like shit just got busy as far as like traveling plans and different things. And even this weekend, I originally had plans to fly to Seattle to hang out with family because they're all gathered there and I fucked up the flight. And so that's not happening. But I also have a barbecue.
What does it mean you fucked up? You booked for the wrong day?
I booked for the wrong month. I meant to book, and I learned this at the top of this week. Where it was gonna be like a thing where I finish work, like I leave from here at like 5 and then go straight to the airport and then like be in Seattle up until like Sunday evening and then fly back and be back for work on Monday. And at the top of this week, I get a text from somebody that like I had sent my flight information to, and they're like, "I don't want to burst your bubble. I don't want to ruin your day. However, you booked for the last weekend of August instead of the last weekend of July." And I was like, "Fuck." And I started looking at flights, and I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm paying like $700, $800 for a weekend trip to Seattle. It's fine. I canceled it. I'm going to Seattle in a month anyway. I'm going to be at PAX West. I'm going to be hanging out for the week there. And so it's not like the biggest loss, right? But like I was looking forward to that. But now instead, I have friends that are doing like a barbecue on Saturday, like a potluck barbecue. And so I'm going to go to that. And then between that, Bear's going too. Between that, there's also SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah?
Which we're going to want to have on in the background. And like everything is just conflicting with each other.
Ah, okay.
And so it's the conversation of being at the barbecue tomorrow. What do we put on the TV? There's like 4 of us that are into wrestling. And so, and like I'm the only person I think who's going, no, maybe me and one other person might be into Evo. We're probably going to lobby.
Bring the iPad. Put the iPad up for Evo.
Yeah, we're probably going to lobby to have like the big TV be wrestling, and then, you know, maybe on my phone I'll check in with Evo. But Sunday is the big day.
Yeah.
And it's the tough thing of, do I want to watch John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, or do I want to watch the Street Fighter finale? Like, can I just watch both those at the same time?
Probably.
I'll figure it out.
Okay, good. I'm
going to tune in because Evo's always a fun time, especially on Sunday.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. How about you? What you got going on this weekend?
This is my final day in the office for 2 weeks, everybody. I'll be gone for the next 10 business days.
Wow.
So it is, a few different things. Of course, Lucy James, godmother to my child. It's her birthday this weekend. So we're doing a family outing tomorrow with her, which will be nice. And then, we're going to push off, go off on a little summer vacation, come back. I'm trying to weasel my way in, of course, to this Pokemon thing. What did they call it?
The Pokemon, the Worlds?
That's right, Pokemon Worlds.
Yeah.
Because if I can go compete, then I can review ZA, is what we've decided.
Yes.
That's the rule we've decided.
And you're going to compete.
Decided. That's what we decided. We said it here on the show. Everybody said, okay. It was unanimous.
I'm in on this because there's no way he's going to compete. There's absolutely no way he makes this happen.
Well, you'll be surprised what Greg Miller can do.
Are you training? Like, do you?
I've been playing Violet.
Are you in competitive shape for Pokemon?
I have like a level 63 belly bolt. All right, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I can get out there. I can start some shit.
I don't know what competitive shape for Pokemon looks like, but
it's probably not that.
I was gonna say, I don't know if level 63
I
is
highly doubt it's that, but we'll see.
Well, good luck to you if you end up going. I'm there rooting for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I hope you
Thank
win.
you very much. Yeah. So yeah, it's, closing up a bunch of stuff like that. Greg Way today is me talking, at least at the start, about my vacation plans, right? And I'm just tossing the Switch in, and I'm just tossing in the Expanse book that Tim gave me yesterday.
Nice.
So that's it. But now I have a crazy wild card that's popped up here.
Mm-hmm.
Shit's fucking fire when Janet Garcia texts you.
Yeah.
And she texted me last night and was like, have you played And Roger? And first off, I've heard of this. I was putting Ben to sleep when she was doing it, but I thought she had said, have you and Roger played this? And I was like, what are you talking about? Ben's on my chest. Like, what do you mean? She's like, no, idiot, the game And Roger. It's apparently only an hour long, and she says it's so my shit. The Steam description reads, it was a morning like all others until she realized her dad wasn't home. In his place, a stranger who speaks nonsense and insists she, quote, takes her medicine. Who is he? Where is dad? Only an hour long. I'm like, I fucking got to play this as soon as possible. Get this.
This is cool.
I'm hoping
this came out like only a week and a half ago.
Only a week ago. It's $3.99 right now on Steam. If Janet Garcia says it's great, it's probably great.
I might jump on this too. This looks cool.
I'm hoping I can knock it out maybe today before I leave the office, and maybe this downtime we're about to have, and maybe this could be my second part of my Greg Way, which I'll talk about when I get to the housekeeping things. But I'm looking forward to this, and I don't want to see too much since it's so short.
Did I ever tell you that me and you have beef? Based off of a conversation I had with Janet Garcia.
No, but I know Janet does that where she starts shit between people and me.
Barrett was there too, where we were having a conversation. It was like one of those drunk conversations. She was in town a few weeks ago, and we're drinking, and we were talking about P.S. I Love You, right? We were reminiscing.
XOXO.
Yeah, and I forget how it came up. I think she was like referencing another thing of like, when you feel like the third wheel. I think it was like a third wheel conversation, right? And I think she was like, do you ever feel like that with P.S. I Love You, where Greg would always be like, yeah, man, me and Janet got the same taste talking about narrative games. And I looked at Janet.
This is why she texted me.
Yes.
She texted me, she's like, is Blessing a narrative gamer? And I was like, it's not his first thing, but he likes narrative games. So I was like, he doesn't like them like you and me like them.
And that's where the beef comes in. Because I was telling Janet, I was like, I don't think Greg understands that I really do like narrative games. But you would always.
I know you do. I'm well aware you do. But I feel like if there's a narrative game and a Perry Poppy, a fighting game or whatever, you're gonna go that way rather than narrative.
It depends on.
That's what I meant.
And you know what? Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But it was always the thing of like. It was always you and Janet talking about some specific game. It would be like not Life is Strange, but something maybe one step beyond.
That one
Life is Strange.
I'd say one step behind. What's the one her and I always talk about? The game we didn't like, but we always talk about.
She brought this one up too.
Jeff the Farsor?
No, Jesus Christ, no.
I know exactly because Janet brought this up of like, bless you wouldn't play that game, and I was like, you know what, fair.
That's what it was. That's the one. That's the thing.
Blessing wanted to rebrand to being a smart gamer. And so this was where this post comes from, where it's our post back to back. Blessing asking, "What's a video game that smart people like?" And then I quoted Janet from that night. You can't be smart and like Sonic.
Which fair, but that's
Janet's
also not the
rule.
You know what I mean?
She's on right now.
It's a general thing that tends to work out that way, but it's not the law. You can be smart and like Sonic.
I don't know if that's true.
You can.
Bagman brings up "We Are OFK." No, it's on the tip of my tongue.
That was a good night.
This is one of those. Okay.
Please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Janet, it's Greg Miller. Blessing's trying to call me out, but I've just knocked his ass out with apparently the exact same example you used. What's the game we didn't like, but we played, and then we can't stop talking about? This one where we were fucking in the small town, bopping around. What was it? We had our brother, minimal our stuff. I want to say He Who Remains, but that shit ain't it. Let me call me back. Seasons is something about seasons
like a
in there.
Loki season finale.
Let me know. Bye.
And like,
if you didn't know, everybody, this is Kind of Funny Game. What do you got?
No, because I'm looking at chat. And I'm like, somebody mentioned season, right? Which is not what you're mentioning.
No.
But the fact that I'm a season enjoyer, I feel like that puts me in the same category as you two.
Like,
you know what I mean?
I'm
a season enjoyer.
You know what I mean? If anything,
I'd be on the Life is Strange
Janet and I
Spoilercast.
are S rank narrative gamers. You're A rank. Just
What
give
makes
us
you S rank? Because you like
didn't play the fucking game we're talking. Did you play We Are OFK? Did you play that? to completion.
Did you play
go.
Erica?
Thank you.
You know, did you play the?
I did fucking play Erica with the fucking key
Erica.
trying to turn this shit. Yeah, I remember Erica.
I didn't like Erica.
No, it wasn't good.
Did you play Bloodshore? How many Whales interactive games do you play?
Okay,
because I be on that shit.
Yeah,
every single time I'm playing the Whales interactive games.
If somebody was like, "Hey, is Blessing an FMV game?" I'd be like, "Fuck yeah!"
Okay, you know what?
This kid's all about
but
it.
That's narrative too.
Did you ever beat Oxenfree too?
You know, I've always wanted to play Oxenfree.
Shut the fuck up. Whatever you want to kind of funny games
watercolors
daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about live on Twitch, on Kind of Funny YouTube. Of course, you get it on podcast services around the globe. No matter where you get the show, please like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, ring a bell. If you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, give us that free 30-day subscription that doesn't auto-renew. That's you, audio listener, who doesn't use Twitch. I'm saying when you get home, log in, go to our channel, give it to us. It'll help us out. It'll help you out too. Because they're just taking that money and acting like it's a benefit. I digress. If you really love our shenanigans here, pick up a Kind of Funny membership, either on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, patreon.com/kindoffunny, or Apple or Spotify. Of course, you'd get all of our shows ad-free. You'd get the ability to watch me, Greg Miller, do a solo podcast called Greg Way for 15 to 20 minutes each and every weekday. You're about to get 10 guest hosts, obviously, as we have it all pass the baton all around for the next 2 weeks, unless I record one in advance. Wink. And then you get good karma for supporting an 11-person small business. Of course, on Spotify, you can get the video version of the show too. Then you get the audio version. It's all over. It's great. It's cool. Do it. Help us out.
Chat is cracking me up because there's one that was like, I've never seen people gatekeep narrative games. This might be like, I'd never seen an elitist narrative gamer before. We're inventing new things here.
Give me something. Give me Janet something here. All right, Blessing can't be everything. He can't be every
I try
game.
to be. That's what my whole thing is. I'm trying to be everything.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Master of all trades. You know, I'm trying to make it happen. Stress me out though. It's really hard.
Housekeeping, of course. We're an 11-person small business, all about live talk shows. Today, after Kind of Funny Games Daily, you're going to get a Gamescast. It's SnowbikeMike's Battlefield 6 once in a lifetime experience. Right now, theoretically, Mike is on a plane back from the Battlefield 6 event where he, of course, streamed it, saw it, lived it, met some celebrity that I didn't know what he put in the chat. Probably a few other ones too. He's going to come on and talk about it for Gamescast right after this. Of course, if you're watching live, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. You, of course, can get it later on podcast services around the globe. Barrett?
I don't know who that celebrity was either, but I saw his Lisa Wallen's post that apparently Travis Barker was at this event.
I saw that too.
Well.
Yeah.
Freaking Danny Pena and Khalif Adams got a picture with Lupe Fiasco.
What the fuck?
This is the second gaming event I've seen Lupe Fiasco at in like the last 2 months.
Let's call him. You got his number?
Lupe Fiasco?
Yeah.
No, I don't have Lupe Fiasco's number. I wish I did.
We'll try. We'll get him. Of course, after the Gamescast is going to be Game Showdown, 90s action trivia, of course, with Nick Scarpino. This is our final matchup to see who goes to the finals to fight me in the finals of Nick's Game Showdown thing.
And Andy.
How has it been? No, and me. Just Andy's never won a Game Showdown in his life. It's not a real
Well, he won one to get to the finale, you know?
Yeah, it's because he had a bunch of scrubs in there. How does it feel to see Nick running your show?
Feels good. Yeah. It feels like it's a nice vacation for me. It's the thing where I imagine you feel with the company as a whole when you see like Mike and Roger go off and like make things, and it's like, oh damn, they really put their full effort into this, and they can take it. Yeah, they can take it and run with it.
Yeah.
Seeing Nick Scarpino flourish, there's nothing like it.
It's nice.
It's nice.
You know,
he's
been under your wing for so long.
Yeah. When you train somebody up and they're able to like make it their own, it's special.
I appreciate that. And then after that will be the stream. It's going to be Bless playing Dead Take, which I'm very excited also to jump into later on.
A narrative game.
A narrative game, yes, of course. And
I think
FMV video. FMV video.
Man, I do love FMV. I'm down to make FMV my thing.
Okay,
Let's do it. The FMV poppy. Fair enough.
If you're a Kind of Funny member, today's Greg Way is in 2 parts. The first is Greg's summer vacation plan. The second, well, you'll have to tune in to find out. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney the Psalm Twining. Today we're brought to you by Mood Factor and the Kind of Funny survey, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 6 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
This conversation just reminded me of a text that I drafted to you that I didn't send because Janet for some reason, so it was a drink, so I think we're just half drunk was the thing. Janet for some reason didn't want me to let you know that she had asked you that question because we were having this conversation. But I was ready. I was like, my finger was over send. I think the text was, quote, you don't know me at all, you phony. And I had my thumb on the thing, and Jana was like, no, don't text it. I don't want it to seem like, we're talking about him behind his back, even though we were talking about you behind your back.
I'm used to the world doing that. July 17th, 9:22 p.m. Janet texts me, does Blessing like narrative games? And I say, yes. Separate text. Like we like them? No. Separate text. But Bless likes them. And she goes, okay, yeah, that's what I thought, because he was on the Life is Strange spoiler cast and stuff.
Yeah, she tried to deflect it.
Then dead. Just no. I was like, all right.
I'm like, we can tell
I
we're
assumed
talking
it was
about
a
him.
Min-Max podcast or something. I don't know.
Got you dead.
I fucking know you. You Sonic sicko. Number one on the Roper Report, Nintendo Switch prices are going up after this weekend. This is Emma Roth at The Verge. Nintendo is raising the price of the original Switch, quote, family of systems and products, the company announced on Friday. Along with the first generation Nintendo Switch, the price change also affects the Nintendo Switch OLED, Switch Lite, and select accessories. Nintendo hasn't confirmed what the new prices are, but updated listings on Target's website, pointed out by Wario64, show a $40 price increase for the original Switch, putting it $340. The site lists the Switch OLED getting a $50 more expensive version at $400, while the Switch Lite is priced at $230, a $30 increase. A previously announced price hike for Switch 1 systems in Canada just took effect today, bumping the original Switch and Switch Lite prices by $20 Canadian to $420 and $280 respectively. The Switch 1 OLED price went up $40 Canadian to $420. The announcement says that Nintendo is also raising the price of some Switch 2 accessories, certain amiibo, and the Alarmo. The prices of Switch 2 consoles, as well as Switch and Switch 2 games, both physical and digital, aren't changing. Nintendo says it's making the change, quote, based on market conditions, end quote. The move comes just after President Donald Trump signed an executive order that will bombard more countries with tariffs. In 2019, Nintendo transferred most of its production away from China and into Vietnam to avoid tariffs, as noted by the New York Times. But now Trump's new round of levies will extend to Vietnam too, with goods imported from the country facing a 20% fee. This is good, right, Bless?
Oh, this is wonderful. Yeah, all the jobs are going to come here. We're going to, open up more production lines.
Yeah.
We're all going to make Switches with our hands, get paid. Money's going to come in. Money's coming in. We're doing it. This is what we all voted for.
Yeah.
Obviously, this sucks. My thing is, where do we take this conversation? Because my brain automatically wants to take it to the place of, when does the Switch 2 go up in price?
Yeah.
Is that a when not if situation, Greg?
100%. 100%.
I hate that.
I do too. I think, this is obviously, as you all know, shifting all the time. This is not something, no one can predict what this administration is going to do because they don't know what the fuck they're going to do. And so as this continues to shift, change, him back down, the taco stuff, like where it's going to net out. You remember when this was a big thing?
Was this like the taco stuff from 2016?
No, taco stuff this year. Trump always chickens out. That was a big thing they were trying to push. They were trying to get going.
It's an acronym. Trump always chickens out.
Gotcha.
Because he would get all tough about this and say 125%, and then they're like, well, fuck you, and then everything would fall apart.
That's so funny.
So who knows where it's gonna net out and what's gonna happen? But yeah, Nintendo was, I thought, chillingly direct when they were like, cool, we're not raising the price of the Switch for now. For Switch 2, this is what the price is for now. When they came back and were reconfirmed the price of the Switch 2 at launch, they were like, this is what it is now. I think it's going to change. I think it's going to continue to change. I think, again, this is the kind of stuff that once it goes up, will you see it come back down where, even if this ever gets settled, if these tariffs don't stick, if they stick this entire time, but then get backed off, hopefully in the next administration, where does this all go?
Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly with you. My one little bit of copium in there is it feels like Nintendo this whole time has been so resistant, right? They've taken the steps. They were getting out of the place that they thought that we're getting tariffed. They thought we're getting tariffed to try and manufacture in other countries, and now those countries are being tariffed as well, right?
Yeah.
They're playing this Tom and Jerry race of where can we manufacture these things so that we're not doing this, and how do we not manufacture it in the U.S. because obviously that's what the government wants, but obviously that's not going to happen because we don't have the infrastructure for that. So I think between that and also a bit of story number 2 as far as how well the Switch 2 is doing already, I wonder if there's a conversation as far as, can we raise the price of everything except for the Switch 2 so we can continue to accelerate the number of sales on that hardware, because pushing that hardware allows us to push the software, and that ultimately is what's going to bring in a lot of money for us. That's the bit of copium I have with it, right? Of like, man, maybe that keeps the Switch 2 to the price that it is, but yeah, I lean towards what you're saying, where I think it's going to go up too.
I feel like it's honestly like Domino's or the Titanic with the bulkheads or whatever, where it goes over this. I think it's one of those like, that is the last thing they want to do. Yeah. They want to hold off on that as long as possible. So I think you do this, hope that, this nets out okay with your profit margins or whatever. But again, when I would assume it's, if anything with the Switch 2, you're holding on to get through the holiday season. Let's raise the prices here and like
2026.
That super sucks. But when if a kid is asking for an OLED, they are asking for a Switch 1. They go to that store and they see that now even more the margin between the Switch 2 and the Switch 1 isn't dramatic, and somebody's there to be like, well, it's actually the better system, and maybe that gets you into that ecosystem, the Switch 2. You get to 2026, and that's when you're like, okay, cool. We've done it, we've pushed it, and now we've eaten as long as we want to eat it for and push it up.
Yeah, because you imagine this has to do something for like the psychology of the market for the Switch 2, where so many people are going to be like, fuck, they're raising the prices of all the hardware. Like, if I'm going to get a Switch 2, I got to get it now before the price goes up. So yeah, to your point, they could hold till 2026, right through the holiday, and then be like, all right, time's up. We're raising the price on this thing, and that becomes the new normal.
Yeah,
I could see
that.
You
would assume not a calendar year, but like when we get to the other side of the Switch, when we talk about Switch next year, and I'm trying to think of what the big games could be, right? Like, but theoretically, Air Riders is out this year, right? Haven't said as much, right?
Yeah.
Theoretically, Metroid's out this year. Like, we fire off all these things, and then next year you raise the price. I would think, there's got to be an Animal Crossing update, Nintendo Switch 2 version
as far as the software, I think you're talking about the new generation of Pokemon, like the brand new
all
big
the way.
Pokemon.
So I'm sorry. The point I was making is you get into the new year next year, raise the prices there. Get everybody mad because they're going to be mad, but it is what it is. Then a couple months later, hopefully put out the Animal Crossing update. I was talking about this in a Greg way recently of like, March this year will be the 6-year anniversary. Like, time it out for that 6-year anniversary of Animal Crossing. Here's this thing with all this new content. That softens the blow where people get distracted from the Switch now costs more after 3 months. And then, you ride out that entire year of people being mad, whatever it's going to be, and then get to the new generation of Pokemon.
Yeah, get to new Pokemon, get to like, you would hope that either you have like a big new Zelda thing or even a 3D Mario thing, even though Bonanza just came out, so maybe chances of that are a little bit more slim. But you're going to have, as Nintendo, based off of what we've gotten this year already, I expect a banger year for next year as well. I'm saying that early, but I think this early on in the generation, Nintendo very much is the kind of company to keep things in their bag and like wait for the time to be right. Like they have more priority to push big new software on new consoles, as opposed to like when you're toward the end of the Switch 1 generation and it's like, wow, we're getting some years where it's not feeling like, it's banger after banger anymore. But that's because, hey, we have everybody cooking for Switch 2.
Yeah, of course.
I think there's so many meals ready to keep with the metaphor of that to come out in next year. At least I would hope.
You would hope so, yeah, for sure. So yeah, I think that this sucks for a number of reasons, and it is, one of the chief among them, right? It's just the idea that like, this is inevitable to get to Switch 2 and everything else you care about.
Yeah. The Switch coming out, the Switch 1 coming out in 2017 for $300, and now in 2025 being $340.
Yeah.
That's insane. That never happens.
We're in
That's scary.
Unprecedented times, as always, which is pretty awful.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, of course, I'm Greg Miller, and I hate this administration and think they're doing a bunch of bad stuff. Of course, if you didn't know, they won't release the Epstein files. I wonder why and what they're terrified about that. But since that's happened, there's been a whole bunch of scuttlebutt of other things and red herrings, and let's change the names of sports teams, and let's
fire Stephen Colbert.
Let's fire Stephen Colbert, and let's talk about taking away Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship because she's horrible. Something's getting lost in all this that I do want to call out a little bit that's actually having real repercussions already. I'm going to read just a couple graphs here from The Guardian. This is from June 26th, so more than a month ago. Cancer experts alarmed over gut-wrenching Trump plan to cut research spending by billions. More people will die due to the White House's plans to slash nearly $2.7 billion from the National Cancer Institute, workers warn. More patients may die as a result of plans drawn up by the Trump administration to cut billions of dollars from the National Cancer Institute. Veteran federal government workers and experts have warned. Nearly $2.7 billion would be cut from the agency, which is the largest funder of cancer research in the world, a decline of 37.2% from the previous year under a budget proposal for 2026, in the latest effort to cut staff and funding. These cuts are absolutely gut-wrenching, Eric Levick, former deputy director and chief technological officer at NCI's Division of Cancer Prevention, told The Guardian. You then follow up with just this week, I am now at statnews.com, NIH is shrinking the number of research projects funds due to a Trump policy. The National Institutes of Health plans to shrink the share of grant applications it will award for the remaining 2 months of the fiscal year due to a new Trump administration policy. In some cases, more than half compared to the previous year. The National Cancer Institute, for example, informed scientists last week that it expected to be able to fund just 4% of grant applications, down from 9%. The policy change affecting multiple branches of NIH will ratchet up competition for grants to an unprecedented level. And unless Congress steps in, the more restrictive policy will continue in the budget year starting October 1. Again, there is so much bullshit that gets said every fucking day that we want to get more and more caught up in his response to fucking something happening at South Park, when in reality we are fucking up this country for generations to come. And I understand that I'm not saying anything you don't know and that isn't new, but I do feel that there is a lot of steak that doesn't sizzle and we get really caught up on worrying about the mashed potatoes and the parsley here.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not saying the video game stuff doesn't matter or anything like that. And we're a video game show and all this stuff. I just want to point out how fucked we are right now and how you got to pay attention and you got to be vocal and you got to tell your MAGA family to fuck off about this shit. Like, I don't want to hear this isn't what they fucking voted for. This is what they voted for. Do they not know anyone who had cancer? Have they not had cancer? How can you be this fucking stupid? Barrett?
To quote Andor, the pace of oppression outstrips our ability to understand it, and that is the real trick of the imperial thought machine. There's so much more going on. And even with video games and art, with the, the religious groups that are trying to censor fucking video games right now, like, it's all happening constantly. But don't lose sight of the bigger picture and keep talking about the things that are important.
Here.
Yeah.
We will move on to story number 2, which is still in Nintendo vein. Nintendo has sold 6 million Switch 2 consoles and almost the same number of Mario Kart World. This is Andy Robinson at VGC. Nintendo Switch 2 sold more than 6 million units in its first 7 weeks on sale, Nintendo has announced. The company released its latest financial results on Friday, which cover the 3 months ended June 30 and are the first to include Switch 2 sales. Switch 2's big launch game, Mario Kart World, sold nearly as many copies as the console during its first month at 5.63 million copies. Switch 2 sold 5.28 million units in June and 8.67 million units. Games. Despite being a launch title and being constrained by its user base, Mario Kart World is the series' second biggest launch behind Mario Kart Wii. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Mario Kart World was available as part of a hardware bundle, but Nintendo's figures suggest that a number of players bought the standalone Switch 2 console and bought Mario Kart World separately, bringing the game's total attach rate to 96.7%. 96.7% as the attach rate. The Switch 2 sales figures mark a console launch record. In comparison, PlayStation 5 shipped, not sold, 3.4 million units in its first 4 weeks on sale and 4.5 million in its first 7 weeks, though Sony's consoles suffered from significant stock shortages. I think it's always worth, when we're talking about this stuff, not that these numbers are not impressive as fuck, bringing in Matt Piscatella, who's like, remember, launch sales of any console are really a supply issue usually. What we're seeing with PS5, what we saw with PS2, right? Like, there's always that thing in the black market and all that stuff, whereas like Switch 2 has been available, which has been awesome, which you've actually see these numbers and see people. But again, back to goddamn Mario Kart.
I do want to shout out. There's another quote from Matt Piscatella. I think in the same vein, he was talking to IGN for a quote, right? And one of the things he mentioned too is like, the fact that also Nintendo decided to manufacture this many Switches does also speak volumes to like how confident they were in the launch of this thing, right? And how well they expect this thing to do in the long term. 96.7% of an attachment rate for Mario Kart World to the Switch 2. That's something that only Nintendo can do. Nobody else can do that. Like nobody else has that ability. And also, it comes back to
new PlayStation and an Infamous game. Come on.
Oh yeah, yes. you put out an Infamous Kart. Oh my god.
Put out a Vita 2 and a Patapon. We're all set.
That's an interesting like thought process of like you launch a new PlayStation console. What is the game that would have the most attachment rate? Is it just Spider-Man? They did. I mean, they did that with PS5.
They did Miles. Yeah, we did the Miles. Yeah.
But like, I feel like if it was like a Spider-Man 2, like if it was a Spider-Man numbered game.
Yeah. Oh. This is I'm putting this as a Gamescast topic. This is a good one.
Yeah. But either way, right? Like, there's a power to Nintendo IP. There's a power to Mario Kart. There's Mario Kart especially, right? Like, part of me wants to even say like Animal Crossing would probably do similar, but I don't think it would. I think Animal Crossing would do amazing. Don't get me wrong, but there's something about Mario Kart that appeals to anyone. Anyone who's buying a Switch is going to buy Mario Kart, and that is not a exaggeration because we have the numbers. Like anybody who's buying a Switch will buy Mario Kart. I don't think that's true for Animal Crossing necessarily, even though I do think most people that buy a Switch would buy Animal Crossing.
You're right. I think you are right that Animal Crossing wouldn't have the same attach rate for sure. But it's going to be interesting to see what that attach rate is whenever they do a new one, especially after how this fan base exploded for 2020. And if how many of those people will come back when they have a life now? They aren't locked in their room anymore for COVID or whatever.
Yeah, it's the thing where it's like I'll bring Pokemon into the conversation as well of like a crazy selling IP, but like. There's something about how Mario Kart World is just for everybody, right? Pokemon is for so many people. Animal Crossing is for so many people. But I think you're selling those to those
And this
audiences.
is an interesting point that I don't want to get lost, especially in the annals of history here. Nitrogen Mustard in the chat says, to be honest, if I ever buy a Switch, Mario Kart isn't my first buy. And I totally get that, especially as you talk about now. From here on out, I mean, now you got Bonanza. You're going to have a new Pokemon, even though it would be whatever. But like, that the reason it's like this is because it was the only big first-party Nintendo game that wasn't an update. It wasn't, they did stuff for Tears and for Breath, of course. But like, this was the brand new thing. This was the hotness. This was like the launch game. And again, this is the power of scarcity, I guess. Not in the usual way we talk about Nintendo scarcity, but in terms of a launch lineup. In terms of, we don't have every third party supporting us. Because I think that's a big important thing about what could PlayStation do? What could Xbox do? Whatever, if you're launching a new thing. Is it Spider-Man 3 or whatever? Well, maybe, but you also, if you're doing a PlayStation, know that Ubisoft's going to have an Assassin's Creed lined up. There's going to be a Call of Duty with updates. There's going to be a Madden.
Even as PlayStation, you had Demon's Souls and Morales and Astro's Playroom and the Little Big Planet game that wasn't called Little Big Planet.
Sackboy's Big Adventure.
Sackboy's Big Adventure. Yeah, you have a slate as PlayStation because you're looking at your different audiences and going, all right, we need something for the hardcore. That's Demons. We need something for...
Hardcore gamers love Demons.
Yeah, Demon's Souls. But like, we need something for the broad PlayStation fan. All right, Spider-Man. We need something for kids. All right, that is both the Astro's Playroom and then also Sackboy Big Adventure, right? Like, they're looking at those different demographics and wanted to hit all of them at launch. Whereas Nintendo doesn't really need to do that. Like, Nintendo puts out one game and they're like, this is for every demographic. Like, hardcore Nintendo fans like Mario Kart. Kids like Mario Kart. The broad Nintendo fan likes Mario Kart. Everybody likes Mario Kart, which I think makes it to your point, you're right about the scarcity, and this goes back to why I think they made the right decision. Would I have loved more software? Would I have loved a better launch lineup? Yes. Of course. But from the Nintendo side of things, yes, I understand why they only, as a first-party thing, mainly only launched with Mario Kart and then the fucking tech demo thing that costs $10 that nobody wanted.
Yeah. So now there's two interesting conversation threads I don't want to lose by my own stupid memory, all right? And I want to talk about Mario Kart, but I also want to talk about Metroid. And I want to talk about those after I talk about, of course, the Kinda Funny membership. If you didn't know, you could be getting this show ad-free. You could be supporting a small business that needs your support. And you could be getting your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a daily podcast that adds up into 4 exclusive hours of podcasts a month. You can get all these benefits with your Kinda Funny membership. Patreon.com/kindafunny, YouTube.com/kindafunnygames, Apple and Spotify. But right now, you're not using those benefits. So here's a word from our sponsor.
This episode's brought to you by Mood. Let me tell you about the online cannabis company that's revolutionizing how we deal with life's challenges. From sleepless nights to stress-filled days, Mood.com has created an entire line of functional gummies that target specific health concerns with 100% federally legal THC blends. They'll deliver them discreetly right to your doorstep, and you can get 20% off your first order at mood.com with promo code KINDAFUNNY. I've been having a great time trying out their different gummies and am loving how each one feels. And each one is crafted using federally legal cannabis grown on small, family-owned American farms. No pesticides, no BS, and they can ship to most states in the U.S. Best of all, not only does Mood stand behind everything with an industry-leading 100-day satisfaction guarantee, but as I mentioned, listeners get 20% off their first order with code KINDAFUNNY. So head to mood.com, browse their amazing selection of functional gummies, and find the perfect gummy for whatever you are dealing with. And remember to use promo code KINDAFUNNY at checkout to save 20% on your first order. That's mood.com, MOOD.com, promo code KINDAFUNNY. This episode's brought to you by Factor. Summer is here, baby. That means more sun, more light, but it should not mean more hours inside cooking. That's where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. Multiple people here at Kinda Funny have been loving their experience with Factor, and you can too. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day, sun up to sundown. With nutritious breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts, Factor has your whole day covered. Enjoy more this summer. Get Factor if you want all the flavor and none of the fuss. Get started at factormeals.com/kindafunny50 off and use code kindafunny50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code kindafunny50 off at factormeals.com/kindafunny50 off for 50% off plus free shipping.
We need you. It's been a few years since we've done a big ol' audience survey to determine who watches our stuff, where you watch it, and what sorts of products you're open to seeing in terms of sponsors. We've boiled this down to a handful of simple questions that shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes to complete. Oh, and all of your answers will be completely anonymous, and we want you to be as honest as possible. Head over to kindafunny.com/survey to participate. Thanks.
And we're back.
Metroid Kart.
Well, before we get to Metroid Kart, let's take an aside. I want you to know, and I don't think I've told you, but I've talked to somebody lately about it. I know who it was.
Mm-hmm.
If I told you, let's listen to the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 song, what song would you play?
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 song. From the movie?
Yeah.
As somebody who's a sicko, Live and Learn is the one that comes to mind.
Sure.
I can't remember what other song was in that movie. I'm sure there was, but my brain's is it the one that Dr. Robotnik danced to?
I made a big mistake.
Oh, no.
Where, Ben loves Sonic. We had put on some Sonic music at some point or whatever. Of course, he's a Sonic sicko. I'm raising one right here. I'll tell you what. It was touch and go last night, everybody. Because he took a longer nap in the afternoon that fucked us, so he was up late, and I'm just trying to get this kid to bed so I can go watch Fantastic Four 2015. Good Lord. And then he's like, well, I want a stuffy. And I'm like, all right, go get a stuffy. And he goes and he's like, I want Shadow. And we could not find Shadow the Hedgehog. And so he had to settle, and it was whatever. But like the first thing this morning, where's Sonic? Anyways, at some point in his life, listening to Sonic music of like Green Hill Zone or whatever, blah, 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 it rolled into the Sonic the 3 soundtrack. And so now Ben will say, for weeks, I want the Sonic 3 song. I want the Sonic 3 song. Now he's matured enough to call it by its name, but he will say, Dad, I want Run It by Jelly Roll. And I have to listen to Run It on loop. And I'll let you know, I love my son, and I am a psychopath, as you all know. When he was obsessed with Witch Doctor, and we listened to Witch Doctor, the Witch Doctor, no problem, not a problem. He loves Weezer Troublemaker. Of course, that's a song I turned him on to.
Some refined taste.
He loves fucking Beastie Boys. So Intergalactic over and over again. Fight for Your Right over and over.
Kid was born in the wrong decade.
I can take any song he wants over and over again, but this is the first song where I'm like, oh man.
It's like, we gotta hide this.
Like he likes the fucking Gummy Bear song, and I can take that. You know, have you heard this one?
I think I know.
Because I'm a gummy bear. Yeah, I can stick with that. You know
that was like what? Bear? Like was that like late 2000s? Was that like early 2010s?
Was that like maybe mid 2000s? That was like
early
YouTube.
Yeah. Oh.
I always play that music video when y'all talk about Gummy Bear, the video game.
Sure. And so it's like, and it's just like, don't get me wrong, it's not like it's not the worst song. I've heard worse songs. I've listened to worse songs on repeat, but it's just something where it's like, as a country music fan,
Yeah.
when Jelly Roll comes through the Spotify thing, I usually skip. It's just not my style. And so now to be locked in, but it's got that fucking Sonic 3, Shadow and Sonic on the cover. So we got to be, you know what I mean?
That's tough.
Can't get away.
Sorry for you.
Metroid and Kart for this conversation.
Yes.
Where do you want to start?
I mean,
They're both related to the story, so I'm not doing
sure. Let's say Metroid.
When we were on the lead up to Nintendo Switch 2 launch, we didn't know anything. There was a conversation around us, right? Of like Tim especially pushing to launch with Metroid and put Kart a month out, kind of put it in that Donkey Kong slot of what we got here.
Yeah.
What do you think the attach rate would have been for Metroid? Because
Metroid,
the argument with Tim, which I totally get, was that this could be this could be Metroid Zelda moment. Because as crazy as it is, remember, Breath of the Wild did take Zelda to another level in terms of being an amazing game, of course, but in terms of fucking Zelda meaning something to different people and a new audience.
Yeah, the argument I would push back then on that would be that like Zelda already at the time was bigger than Metroid, obviously. Like Zelda, I think, has a better place to start with, to where Zelda, I think, already was the kind of game that you could launch a console with.
Yeah.
I don't think Metroid is that, and I'm of two minds. One of the minds I'm of is maybe Metroid Prime 4 isn't doing like a Breath of the Wild like jump, right?
100%.
Maybe it's hey, this is just more Metroid, which is great and that's good, right? But like maybe that's not a Nintendo probably looked at it and went, no, this ain't a launch. Like this isn't what we want to have at launch. I also think is the thing of the attachment rate conversation. If you do it the same way they did Mario Kart World, where it's the only big game for that first month, I would guess like 60.
Yeah.
Which is good, which is actually pretty great. But like in that, like it's honestly insane for any video game.
Here's what I think, stick with me.
Yeah.
I think it could be higher than 60, but I think sales would be lower of the Switch.
I think that too.
I think this would be this. Don't get me wrong, I'm not at all Monday morning quarterback, and Nintendo made the right decision, clearly. But I think it would have been that, oh, I'm a Metroid fan, I'm a hardcore Nintendo fan, I'm just excited for a new Switch, I'm going to buy it, and I'll buy the new game. But I don't think the looky-loos, the people who are coming from Switch 1, who are new Switch fans, new Nintendo fans, would look at Metroid and go, oh, that's what I need. It would be that instead, oh, I'll wait a month and buy it for Mario Kart World.
Yeah, it's just it's also not a thing that you would buy for, not that Metroid is like terrible for kids, but like it's not the kind of game that's like, oh, this is automatically a game. Of course. So I think it's just a terrible launch title for a new Switch. But I do see the thought process. I think you would have to bundle it with one other thing. I think you would have to like have DK Bonanza is a bad one because DK Bonanza would eat that shit up.
Yeah, of course.
But you would have to like have like I think a smaller kids game.
My next question then is Kart in general. Where are you at with Kart?
Oh man, I've not picked it up.
We had that thing. We had the launch stream. Everybody's excited. Everybody adopted it and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm the same way where it was like I got it, and again, I'm the weirdo. Well, I'm not the weirdo. I don't know who's the weirdo anymore. But like for me, Kart is a party game. So when we're playing in the office and doing a stream about it, yeah, I can't wait to do it. But when I go home, I just don't want to do that. And that's been awesome because it's led to me restarting Pokemon, doing Link's Awakening. I love my Switch 2. I'm having so much fun with it. And obviously now Bonanza. But
I'm the same as you, where Kart's never been, well, I won't say never. Kart on N64, I played religiously. But like since Kart Wii, right? Like Kart's never been the game that I'm at home playing by myself. I do the initial, let me 3-star let me complete every Grand Prix and like let me get first place or whatever in like the Grand Prix modes. Once I do that, I don't have like the motivation to continue. I'm not a 3-star every single thing person.
Yeah.
Like that'd be a Barrett question of like,
Barrett, I want to know for you, you are one of the Mario Kart psychos. You're the sicko of the office. Are you still playing religiously or is it what's going on?
No.
When did you stop?
When I 3-starred everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
this is not enough. Like I think the open world stuff again. They never presented it. They never presented the open world stuff as like being like the main course by any means.
Yeah.
But like you would hope that would have given you some substance to like keep playing or like boot it up and drive around for a little bit, collect collectibles or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was so thin that like I not that it needs it, but if you put in a mode or put in something to give players that substance to keep them in over time, then that would be the thing. But I think really what that is going to end up being would be DLC tracks over the years. That's going to be what brings people back to have Barrett come back and like 3-star those and then move on with his life.
Yeah, I don't 8 turned into I'm going to kind of like idly play this while we watch something type of thing. Like Alyssa wants to watch something on the TV. So like I'm going to play Mario Kart as just, while I listen to something in the background. And yeah, World is not that for me, and I think it's mainly just because I like the 3-track system, and World just does not do that, and so I find it less interesting to kind of go through courses kind of mindlessly over and over again.
Bear, I'm going to say something. I want you to correct me if I'm wrong about this, right? I think traditionally, if I'm looking at the Mario Kart franchise as a whole, Mario Kart is like an 8 out of 10 franchise. I think Deluxe kind of broke that a bit. I think Deluxe is the one that kind of broke out of that and ended up just being a completely like phenomenal game front to back. But aside from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I think Mario Kart just tends to be like this is a great time to have with friends, but it's not like
it's an 8.5 series.
Yeah.
And I like N64 kind of like broke that mold because there's such a energy and vibe to N64 that became iconic.
But even N64, like I love Mario Kart.
But as a video game, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, and so like 8 broke it a little bit, and then World was a little bit of a let's try something new and different, and it didn't fully work, and so that's why it's a 7.5.
Yeah, it's not Diddy Kong Racing,
Yeah,
that's a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 game right there.
Fair enough. We move on to story number 3. Starfield reportedly set for PlayStation 5 release during spring 2026 alongside new expansion. This is Wesley Yinpool at IGN. Bethesda is reportedly preparing the much-rumored PlayStation 5 release of Starfield for spring 2026, which will come alongside a new expansion. According to MP First, Starfield was pushed out of 2025, quote, partially due to the RPG's weak sales of the first expansion, Shattered Space, end quote. Shattered Space, which launched in September 2024 to a mostly negative Steam user reviewing rating, was meant to be followed by an expansion this year as part of the annual release schedule. IGN asked Bethesda for a comment. The PS5 launch will apparently coincide with the release of Starfield's second expansion and other quality of life updates. MP First said not to expect an announcement at Gamescom later this month or an imminent shadow drop. This sounds like something you do at Game Awards then, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, I know spring is a pretty, spring 2026 is pretty broad, but maybe not then actually, because that'd still be winter, I guess, if we're actually lining up to spring.
Oh, what you're thinking of like launching in like January, February?
I mean, we always talk about that time period, right? Where you come out of that new year and you want something new, you want something, usually it's less competition. A game like Starfield that is beaten up. It's a beaten up game and franchise and IP. That might be the time to drop it on PlayStation for new folks to get in. And
when did Oblivion come out? Because I would have given it the Oblivion spot.
That's not bad. I played that on my way out there to play South of Midnight. So what was that?
It was the same week as Claire Obscure.
April.
So,
April. The big factor that we have to have with all these conversations now is that GTA 6 is slated for May 26th.
Yeah.
So how far ahead of GTA 6 do you want to come out? Is April good for that? I mean, it's an expansion and it's a port.
If I had unlimited control here and I could do whatever I want with it, and they're like, what's our best thing for success? I think your best thing would be January. I am saying that based on the second expansion and these quality of life improvements need to be fucking fire. This needs to be, don't get me wrong.
Do you think they're trying
fire of an 8.3, not like a 10 out of 10, but I mean, have it be the thing where it drops and people are like, this is what I wish Starfield would have been to a degree at launch. Like, I don't think Starfield PS5 is going to set the world on fire by any stretch of the imagination.
Part of me, even when you say this needs to be like a fired update, like there's one part of my brain that is like, but aren't they just going to move on from it? Like, is this the last actual major expansion? Yada yada. But another part of me looks at this, right, and remembers that this is Bethesda. Yeah. And remembers that they're still putting out Fallout 76 updates.
But I feel
are they going to give up on this?
Again, now I'm back in Phil's chair, or I guess even Todd's chair. I'm not sure how the independent Bethesda is or whatever. But I would be like, yes, we're giving up on this.
Yeah.
We did not knock this out of the park. We did not deliver on what people wanted out of a modern RPG or even a Bethesda RPG. So honestly, if I'm looking at this Shattered Space, weak sales and negative stuff, I probably would even pull the plug then, because I just don't. You're not going to get the return on investment on this. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm gonna eat shit and they do turn around there. I mean, everyone knows if you're new around here. I love Starfield, like, for what it is. I'm not saying it's a 10 out of 10. So like, I'm excited for a new expansion. I'm glad we're getting one. Because I was very much like, I would have pulled the plug here. Because I just don't see it happening where it's going to get. I don't think how we're gonna hit even in January, and I don't think the expansion is going to fix all the problems and all the narrative issues. And
I do think the expansion helps sell the port, though. I think that is like the thing that.
Well, I mean, that's the thing of, hey, here's and that's why I think you stop.
Yeah.
We are done with updates after this. So the PlayStation 5 version is the definitive edition. You buy it and it's everything we've done and learned since launching this 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that's the way you phrase it, sell it, and get it out there. But again, I don't think it's going to put up Forza numbers. I hope that I hope the new expansion and quality of life improvements. As somebody who already likes Starfield, yeah, I would love to see it drop and be like, it's No Man's Sky moment. I don't think that's the case. I think, again, they still have the same fucking UI from the launch of the game, which is somebody who loves this game, the least exciting or interesting visual treatment of a menu I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, they're committed to what this game is, but I think that also means it ends, which I've talked about before too. I'm, as a Bethesda fan, but not a Bethesda sicko, I'm still shocked at the amount of people who are like on the subreddits being like, no updates, I can't believe they're not. And it's like, bro, this isn't a live service game. Like, I understand that like Bethesda has supported other RPGs for years and years and years, but like, you're not going to get these dumps and stuff. Like, people are making cool shit and cool mods and putting them out that way, and new story quests that I jump in and play and enjoy. But like, I am fully expecting this to be done. And to bring Fallout 76 into the conversation, Fallout 76 is a different beast because that was promised to be an online, basically MMO world, right? Where this is going to live, breathe, change, yada, yada. Like, that was a far different undertaking than, hey, here's an underwhelming single-player RPG we're putting out. It's like, okay, yeah, cool. Like, I don't think you need to sit there and spend time after time after time. The counter-argument to it would be if like, there had been a rumor, I forget, maybe it was Jason Schreier, but maybe it wasn't. Someone on the show mentioned to me the rumor that there was at least at some point, who knows if it's alive, dead, or whatever, that somebody was working on a Starfield MMO like Fallout 76. And it's like, if that is actually happening and that's an actual thing, which again, if I'm Xbox and I'm Bethesda, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that. Because again, I just think
It's a cool idea, though, in theory.
But like,
But I understand, yeah, like after everything,
this
don't
brand is tainted. And in 2025, in modern games, I just don't think Bethesda has the time. Xbox wants the money to work on that and fix that. Cut your losses here. Please make Elder Scrolls fucking insanely good.
Yeah.
Whatever the next Fallout is, please fucking make that incredibly good. Let's take all the lessons we learned here and get away from this. And then you are into that same conversation that comes up all the time, right? Of like, in the lead up to Starfield, Todd Howard and the team in the video was like, this is the RPG we've always dreamed of making. And you say that, and that's awesome, that's great. Did the dream turn into a nightmare for them? Was it how much of the dream was Todd's dream? And as Todd has said in many interviews, I am getting old. How many more 10-year RPG life cycles do I have in me?
Yeah.
You figure it's Elder Scrolls, and then you would assume Fallout, and like, at that point, we're into the 2030s.
Yeah.
Like, are we really sitting here being like, and then we'll have Starfield too? Like,
I love Todd Howard, right? Like, I think fucking, Fallout 3 is such a special game to me. I'd be fascinated to see him move on after Starfield and like pass on Elder Scrolls to somebody else. And I say that not because he's not equipped for it. He's very obviously equipped for it, but more so because one, I'd like to see him continue to do other things. I liked what he did with Indiana Jones. And I think there's more Todd Howard ideas like that could be more small and contained that would allow him to maybe get out his dreams, I don't know how passionate he is to make a new Elder Scrolls, and maybe he is. I'm not talking to him about this. But then also just the fact that Elder Scrolls is a franchise that has so many fans, and I would love to see what somebody who grew up playing Elder Scrolls would then make in the Elder Scrolls universe. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I would like to see that baton pass of like, hey, you joined Bethesda because you loved Oblivion, you loved Skyrim. Now here are the keys. Make something special in the Elder Scrolls
What's
universe.
yours? What's your fingerprint you're gonna put on
like
this?
I feel like we're getting there with Bethesda stuff where it's like you have legacy, pass on that legacy.
Yeah, 100%, even 1,000%.
Yeah. What do you call the Starfield expansion, or not expansion, the port? Because in my mind, Starfield Starborn Edition.
Yeah, I think that's probably. I think, wasn't the rumor the expansion might have Starborn in the title?
Oh,
So if that does it, then
yeah,
no,
then,
yeah.
I'll workshop it.
Okay.
Starfield. Integral. No, it's too much.
I still love Starfield Game of the Year Edition asterisk, and then the back is just Greg Miller's Game of the Year.
Just Greg Miller. Yeah, I like that. I like
Greg
that.
Miller, Starfield, Greg Miller Edition.
Super chat in with your Starfield editions.
Constellation. Oh, that's what they called the special edition. They already did, I think, right?
Starfield Constellation. Oh yeah,
Constellation Edition, like the group. Yeah. Number 4, EA has finally revealed Battlefield 6 details. This is Edmund Tran at This Week in Video Games. We have the trailer here. Electronic Arts has officially unveiled Battlefield 6, one of the 2 tentpole releases for the forthcoming year, in addition to Skate. I'll read that again. One of the 2 tentpole releases for the forthcoming year, in addition to Skate. I love you, Edmund. I don't know you. I don't know if the Skate is a tentpole here, but I appreciate it. Following her, and I love Skate.
Whoa. Skate's not a tentpole
For EA, you think this year?
Yes. Well,
is
it
just
coming out in
because
full?
it's like
Next to College Football 2026.
No. Okay. You know what? When you frame it like that,
Yeah.
you're right.
Oh, he says for the forthcoming year. So, okay, take out college football. Next to Madden.
You're right.
Just saying, I don't think
Madden
Andrew
is gonna do better
Andrew
than
Wilson.
Skate.
Don't get me wrong,
But I think Skate's
Skate is
big
going to
for EA.
underperform, and Andrew Wilson's going to be pissed. But he's not looking at it like it's Battlefield and Skate, brothers. Following a reveal trailer sharing an initial look at the campaign, the company revealed its multiplayer modes and classes 1 week later during a press and influencer event in LA. Remember, the one and only SnowbikeMike was there. He will be here momentarily to talk about it on Gamescast. Battlefield 6 has a release date of October 10th, 2025, releasing on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series. Set in 2027, it returns the series to a modern warfare setting. In a forthcoming interview with the Friends Per Second podcast, EVP Vince Zampella framed Battlefield 6 as a spiritual successor to fan-favorite entries like Battlefield 3 and 4. The game's retail price point will be US $70.
Did you end up watching this trailer right here with sound?
No.
I can't play it.
Is that why somebody said yesterday that there's a surprise
you and
in
Andy,
there?
it's set to Limp Bizkit's Break Stuff.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And it's really good.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'll watch this after the fact.
It's so funny because Barrett was at his desk watching it and mentioned like, man, they had an insane song choice. And thinking back to people being like, Greg and Andy would like it. In my brain, I was like, it's probably some Limp Bizkit shit. And then Barrett was like, yeah, it's this Limp Bizkit song. I was like, fucking nailed it. You know, I was thinking it was gonna be Nookie.
I would love to see Nookie. Please give me that edit of this over there. Sorry, go on.
Well, I was going to bring in some other Battlefield
Please go for it.
6 quick hits from Wesley at IGN. He said that, confirming rumors that I've swirled for months, Battlefield 6 will indeed have a Battle Royale mode. The global community manager Kevin Johnson said on social that Battle Royale arrives on Battlefield Labs for testing soon. And then one other one from Vicky Blake at IGN who mentioned EA currently has no plans to bring Battlefield 6 to Switch to. I dashed out a lot of the article because we're going to talk about it anyway on Gamescast, and so Mike will give you the full breakdown of what you can expect out of it. But exciting stuff for Battlefield. I will say, yesterday's rollout for everything got me kind of excited.
I won't lie, I was shocked by the hype for Battlefield on socials yesterday.
Yeah.
Everyone was popping off. And I don't even just mean the influencer events over there. You know what I mean? I mean, like, people who were watching it in our live chat were like, oh my God, Battlefield. I'm like, all right, cool.
I'm kind of like, I want to try it.
Okay.
I want to try it.
Number 5 on the Roper Report, Assassin's Creed Black Flag actor says Ubisoft threatened to sue him after he teased a remake. This is Chris Scullion at VGC.
This is an incredible story, by the way.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag's lead actor says Ubisoft threatened legal action after he was filmed teasing a remake. Matt Ryan, who plays the game's protagonist, Edward Kenway, was filmed at a convention in June, hinting at a fan that a remake was on the way. Ryan was filmed asking a fan if they'd beaten the game. When the fan replied that they had beaten the original, Ryan said, well, you may have to beat it again. Now in a new video posted to TikTok and now removed by user Kylo_HD659, Ryan has been filmed at another convention explaining that he got into trouble with his previous comments. In the new video, Ryan says he was asked if there's a remaster coming, to which he replies, I don't know, mate. After being reminded of his previous comments, Ryan explained that he didn't realize he was being filmed and Ubisoft wasn't happy about it. Quote, well, the thing is, when that happened, someone was doing this, he replied, pointing a camera filming him, and I was being very free and open, but I didn't know that they actually were recording me on their phone, and then the company threatened to sue me. Yeah, so I say nothing, end quote.
What are you doing? Actors, learn to just
Shut
not
the fuck
say
up!
shit. Because, like, okay, fool me once, sure, right? Like, he got caught the first time. Oh, damn, that sucks or whatever. And then you get filmed again saying that Ubisoft tried to sue you. Why would you say that last part?
This is where you...
On camera again.
This is where you break out the classic song by Shaggy, It Wasn't Me, right? Where it's like, I don't know anything about a remake, but we have a video of you. It wasn't me.
Yeah,
What are you talking about? It wasn't me.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you feel like watching the video, but I included the video of him saying to the guy, like, yo, Ubisoft threatened to sue me. And it's so funny because I'm just like, why would you say this?
I don't know, mate.
Because there was another video of you at a con, and basically you said to them, you should play it again, and now like everyone's going, he's teased the remaster. Don't know, or you're not?
He's doing great so far.
Well, the thing is that when that happened, someone was doing this, and I was being very free and open, but I didn't know that they actually were recording me on their phone. And
I'm recording you right now!
Threatened to sue me.
Oh, Jesus.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? That's basically confirmation that this game is happening. That's exciting.
And he's looking at the camera.
Yeah, he's looking at the camera being like...
They were doing just this. They were doing this exact thing, and I didn't know I was being recorded.
Yeah, when I leaked Black Flag Remaster, Ubisoft threatened to sue me. Says that directly into the camera. Brother.
Oh, blessing.
Yeah.
Ubisoft suing voice actors is huge news. And frankly, I hope they come after Nolan North. But until we get more news like that, and I wanted small stuff, where do I go?
You go to our last news story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
Number 6, the Wii News from Push Square. PlayStation and Arc System Works have released an in-depth gameplay overview for Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, giving us the best look of the game yet.
I watched it.
It's so gorgeous.
It's an 11-minute video, and that honestly, they went into nitty-gritty detail about the gameplay mechanics and systems and all that stuff. It was very fascinating. But my main takeaway was what you just said. This game is fucking gorgeous.
So good.
It's crazy when you're in that city street. Like, there's so much just like depth in the background. Like the fact that you have a city street that like you can look down and like you see cars like far in the background and people walking and all this shit, and like you're basically on like New York Times Square. It looks like, right?
Yeah.
Like,
that kind of looks like Vegas too.
Yeah. There's basically just a lot of lights and buildings going on, but it looks fantastic.
Love it.
Crazy.
From VGC indie digital game store, itch.io is relisting free, not safe for work games today, but paid content will remain hidden for now. Remember, a bunch of credit card companies are mad, or not mad, they're scared of getting in trouble with the government or whatever, so they're doing this now.
They're being lobbied by religious groups.
And remember when everybody got Stellar Blade? I saw Janet tweet about this as well. People get all fucking bent out of shape about Stellar Blade censorship. This shit happens goddamn quiet.
Oh, yeah.
Because it wasn't about censorship.
From NME, Annabelle Writer is adapting the cult horror game The Medium to a movie.
I put it on the calendar, by the way. I put a video game movie conversation on the calendar.
Medium movie could be dope.
But like, no, I mean, not that it couldn't be dope. It could be dope. But why make one? You can just make it something original.
Cheap rights. But I remember, of course, the percentage of people who played the Medium is so tiny. To 99% of the people who see this poster, they've never heard of the Medium. They don't know who's better than Resident Evil that year.
Because I understand, like, oh man, everything has to be based off an IP now. That's how business works. If every Medium fan watched this movie, it will not be enough for the fucking box office.
We'll find, but they'll go the opposite way, where people watch this movie because they like horror movies, and then they'll be like, I should play the Medium. Then they'll be really disappointed. From VGC, there are no plans to expand Sandfall Interactive, despite the success of its debut game, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. That's according to the studio's chief tech officer and the game's lead programmer, Tom Guillermin, who told Automaton.
How do you nail Guillermin?
I got a little bit of French around me all the time, so I'm trying to be better at that than anything else. English, I so fuck up all the time.
You can't say automaton.
But
you nailed
I said automaton right, and then I was like, wait, that can't be that word. And I was like, you know what? That is the word. That growing size of its development team wasn't necessary for the type of games it makes. Yes, round of applause for them. Congratulations.
I love this. This is like the same thing that Team Asobi told us when me and Roger went there for the Astrobot preview.
Yeah,
and I love this. Like, hey, keep your size, make great games out of contained thing. It's like the Zalafrey Nelson conversation of like, yo, find the.
This is how you survive.
Like, budget constraints will push you to be more creative.
Yeah, ballooning is not a solution.
Persona 3 Reload sells over 2 million copies worldwide. Persona Series is now over 27 million. Congratulations to them in Atlas. Mortal Kombat Trilogy has now been added to Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection.
Nice.
And then we had a super chat here that I think deserves Wii News. Alex J. Sandoval, OMGLX, a longtime Kind of Funny best friend, says, small business tax. Today I launched my design shop, Make Shit. This is a thanks for the endless hours of laughs and entertainment as I work on designs, writing, as well as the invaluable amount of inspiration the Kind of Funny crew have provided me. Heart. You can go to the website Make Shit, but no A and no I, so MKESHT.com. Pick up a t-shirt, pick up some cool posters. Only grippers I want to see in its cat paws. That's cute.
That's good.
I like that a lot. I like that. Congratulations, Alex J. Sandoval.
That's
You've
fun.
been around with us for a long, long time. Happy to spread that love for you. MakeShitEverybody.com.
Congratulations.
And that's it for the Wii News. From there we go to the one, the only, the Super Chats. A lot rolled in. Thank you for your support.
Did we get suggestions for the Starfield Definitive Edition name?
Yes, we did.
Perfect.
What you have here is from Omega Buster, Starfield Intergalactic Planetary Intergalactic Edition for Greg and Ben.
That's good.
I like that. I would take that one. I would take that one as well. From the top of the order, they go like this. John Van Pelt super chat and said, finally got and started Expedition 33. Holy shit, I'm already addicted.
Love that.
Great game. Congratulations. Claw Master says, happy Evo weekend. Gonna be hype.
Happy Evo weekend to you.
Matthew Hidalgo says, my birthday is on Sunday, so here's my birthday tax. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
We'll get Minotti to sing for you another time. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did
Tricked
see that.
his dumbass.
Yeah, I did.
I also want to shout out the musical artist Goldie Boutier. She's like Florence and the Machine meets Casey Musgraves and Fleetwood Mac. Well, we're adding Goldie to my playlist right now.
Again, you're nailing the French names.
Again, I'm married to a French Canadian. Like, you know?
But like, you see the name Samantha and you don't know how to pronounce it.
It's Samantha. That's true. I'd probably fuck that up. I'm such an idiot. And I got a job talking. Why is Spotify taking so long to open? Fuck. Hold on, I'm gonna slack to myself then.
As you do that, the Portland Kevin wrote in with a super chat and says, I'm going to PAX 2. Hope to see any KFBFs there. This is what I'll say. I'm not officially going to PAX, but you might see me there.
Look for Bless, everybody.
Look for me.
Nolan Massey writes in and says, my wife and I are going to Seattle for the weekend on our 10-year anniversary. Do you have any recommendations for food shopping? Love y'all.
Ooh, okay. For food, I just gave somebody a recommendation. But there is a Thai spot that I like the drinks at. Their old fashions have been great, even though I've been told recently that they changed them. But they're called Bai Tong. I believe it's BAI space TONG. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
I would shout out, this is a steakhouse. Jen and I love on a business trip or just in general, a nice steakhouse with the plush leather, some good jazz on a piano, dim lights. El Gaucho.
El Gaucho.
Yeah, GAUCHO.
Okay,
that's been a stop usually for us, but it's a steakhouse. It's gonna be expensive.
Another one I'll shout out if they're still around is Marination. If you like Hawaiian food, they're a really good spot. Barrett, what you got?
Did you shout out Pink Gorilla Games? Sorry, I was.
Pink Gorilla Games is also. I mean, if you're looking for like retro video games, it's owned by Kelsey Lewin, who you've seen on MinMax. She's the homie. It's a really, really cool game store. Highly recommend it.
I've never been there.
Oh, you gotta go.
I want to go.
They're in Vegas now too.
Oh,
yeah.
Next super chat is Kuma Bob who says, quote, Andy won because there were a bunch of scrubs on that show, end quote. Wasn't Blessing on that episode? Lol.
Well.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. And you declared that you were going to win that episode too.
It's hard to come down at Ivory Tower.
Yeah, but like as the person who's like, the lead host and producer of the show, it's like I don't want to make it unfair by just demolishing you guys. So I take it easy.
Yeah, that's why you let Andy win by such a huge margin.
Exactly.
Okay.
Alan Wilson writes in a super chat, says, I am Nitrogen Mustard. Excited to share my wife and I are welcoming our first kid, a baby girl, next year. Can't wait to add a +1 to the Kinda Funny best friends. Congratulations, Nitrogen Mustard.
Love that.
Thank you for all of your support. Raise that kid right by planting them in front of Games Daily every day. Colin Berry super chats and says, Greg, you can't compete at Worlds. You have to qualify by competing in tournaments throughout the year. Is Pokemon VGC going to be Kinda Funny Magic next year? Listen, everybody. I have my ways. All right? You're going to tell me something happens to one of these kids with their video game system outside of the event. They don't need somebody to fill in. Somebody's flight gets canceled. They're turned away.
Steal somebody's pass and pretend to be somebody?
Are you threatening to cancel somebody's flight?
I'm just saying things happen all the time in Anaheim that don't go the way they think they're going to go. And they need a hero to step in.
I'm just saying, remember like how not fun it was for you when like someone tried to use your badge at E3 and you got in trouble for it?
That was actually great content for us. We sold a cool shirt.
It was.
They say Pokemon VGC. I assume they mean TCG, unless I'm missing something. But I would like to get into Pokemon TCG.
Maybe it means video game content.
Maybe. Video games. Is that where we're short to get to now?
I mean, if you want to try to get in, I mean, with Ben now and we got the cards going too.
If we want to turn this into like a big Pokemon channel, I'm down. Yeah.
I'm doing my best. I'm a one-man show out here. Nobody else cares.
I know. I'll start to care.
I'm talking about
nobody else here makes Pokemon
talking
content.
about the hottest fucking Pokemon game in the world, Violet. Nobody wants to help me.
Nobody here wants to make Pokemon content.
Alex Frazier.
Nobody.
Alex Frazier says, never stop talking about Epstein and Gaza. We won't. Omega, of course, free Gaza, by the way.
Free Gaza.
Free Palestine. Omega Buster says, thank you for being kind of funny, Greg and Bless. Oh, thank you for just being kind of funny, Greg and Bless. I don't think it means being kind of funny. I think it was when I was ranting and you were helping me. Demon Hacker, GTA 6 bundled with PS6 and $20 cheaper equals MK Mario Kart's numbers. When we were saying, how would you contend with the attach rate?
Oh, you bundled GTA 6 at launch with PlayStation 6?
Insane.
I mean, yeah, that would never happen. But like in the theoretical world where that happens, I don't know. I'm also gonna say no.
Okay.
You know what? It's either no or somehow it exceeds the fucking 100% attach rate.
Yeah. Well, that's what Breath of the Wild did.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild sold more than the Switch One, and that's because it was on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Mr. Hawk says another thank you to Blessing for being on this week's Story Modders podcast and drafting an awesome fighting game roster with us. The episode is live now.
There you go. Go check that out.
Everybody check out Story Modders podcast.
Story
I
Modders.
subscribe. Damn. You're right. There's one D in there. See, you can't say fuck. It's not French. If you
It's
were
not
French.
If it was Francais. Also, apparently VGC stands for Video Game Championships.
Oh, okay.
So Pokemon VGC content.
Well, once I win it, I'll be able to tell you more about it. Omar says, birthday tax for my 29th on Sunday. Happy birthday. I've been listening since Game Over Greggy 67. I'm headed to Big Bear Lake with 8 friends, got a huge Airbnb for 2 nights, and rented a boat. Give me drinking games I may have not have heard of, and keep fucking that chicken. Got a good drinking game. Yeah, Caps. I've taught you how to play Caps before. Play Caps.
What's the one? Is it called King something? You play with cards. Every card you pull is like a different activity you have to do.
Yeah. Bullshit.
No, it's not bull. Chat, hit me with it. It's like King's something. King's Crown. I don't know. Also, this fucking fake fan listening since GOG 67. I've been listening since GOG 1. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here. Come on.
I mean, they did say if you keep fucking that chicken.
King's Cup.
That's old. That's old.
King's Cup.
And then final super chat comes from Chops Pones, who says, no talk of Microsoft sales on PlayStation or their financials.
We hate Microsoft. We hate Xbox.
I mentioned how good Forza sold on there. But yeah,
it was also on the show yesterday, but we canceled KFGD yesterday.
Yeah.
And then today just had a lot more news that I thought was more worthwhile talking about.
No, we hate Microsoft.
And also, we've been talking about it for a while, about how good Microsoft... We've definitely talked about this, actually, on the show, about how well Microsoft games have been doing on PlayStation.
Yes, we have.
But also, we hate Xbox.
Didn't you know that? I only like underdogs. What? Everybody, this has been another episode of Kinda Funny Games Daily. Remember, each and every weekday, we come to you with the nerdy news you need to know about live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, and podcast services around the globe. If you love that, we'd love you to pick up that membership. Patreon.com/kindafunny, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, Apple, Spotify, all the shows ad-free, daily dose of me. Now, 10 episodes of other people, unless I do a special one. Wink. And of course, sport and businesses, karma. You know, you put the words in the right order. All right. I'm like 30 minutes from vacation. I don't give a fuck anymore. All right? I'm checked out. Of course, there's plenty more content happening here. Mike's about to come talk about Battlefield 6. Nick's going to do Game Showdown. Then it's the streaming of the one, the only Ben Starr game.
Dead Take.
Dead Take. Thank you so much.
And by
the way, no.
Narrative fan.
Shit, did I start closing up my windows?
I love narrative games. Guys.
There was a you're wrong that was incorrect. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh,
was it figuring out the game that you and Janet played?
Exactly. Eric wrote in and said, the narrative game that Janet and Greg played that Blessing did not was Tell Me Why. No, it was actually Where the Heart Leads. This is the fucking game me and Janet like suffered through and did not like, and then just never shut up about how much we didn't like it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like terrible, but it was like we were annoyed by it. It could have been great, but it doesn't matter. For now, we're going to bid you adieu. Get you ready for the Gamescast. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.